This week in Battlefield, there is more confirmation from Andy McNamara that the reveal is this summer and that we're gonna hopefully know about it soon. There is a new update to the Battlefield Labs client, which apparently changes quite a bit, and there are some more leaks from Temporal, including some BR assets and even a leaked clip from the campaign, which looks very interesting. If you guys are new to the channel and you're interested in a weekly Battlefield news recap just like this one, be sure to hit that subscribe button. There is plenty more content on the way. But with that being said, let's get stuck into another episode of This Week in Battlefield. Now, firstly, just to kind of get the quicker stuff out of the way, about 3 or 4 days ago now, there was a tweet, or a couple of tweets here actually, from Andy McNamara, who is the Global Senior Director of Integrated Comms for Battlefield Studios. So he's been around for a while now. He was around in the lead up to 2042 as well. And anyway, someone by the name of Junda FPS on Twitter said, "June, boom, soon, where you at?" and then tagged Battlefield. And Andy actually replied to this and he said, "We've got some things brewing," with a smiley face, giving a little bit of a tease that things are still cooking away. Now, even more interesting was that Ghost Gaming then retweeted this and he said reveal still in June with a question mark, just starting the discussion. And then Andy actually replied to this again and he said, "The community will know when the reveal is coming. We are focused on labs and preparing for the reveal this summer." So that is all definitely very interesting. The fact that he said the community will know when the reveal is coming, that kind of points to what I said in last week's episode, where I think that they will essentially announce the reveal date. They won't just drop a trailer or showcase this at another event, for example, Summer Game Fest that was just on a few weeks ago. It seems as though they will essentially just randomly tweet one day the announcement date for the game, and then maybe, you know, it might be a couple of days later or a week later or whatever, then we'll get either a trailer or, depending on how they want to approach it, some sort of reveal for the game. So as for when that's going to be, again, it is just a guessing game at this point. There is confirmation again though from Andy that the reveal is this summer, so we don't need to worry about the game being internally delayed or anything like that. A lot of people have been speculating, oh, it wasn't at Summer Games Fest, so maybe it's delayed till next year. I don't think that's the case. I do still think it's going to launch this year, with the reveal being this summer. And so we do just have to keep waiting, unfortunately, but hopefully it's not too much further away. I don't imagine it being at the very end of summer. I do feel like if it's not going to be June, it will surely be July. So yeah, hopefully we're not too far away from the actual reveal of the game. Now, next up, we also had some information here from Reddit. There's a post from NSGXD from about 9 hours ago as I'm recording this, saying new information dropped from the 1BF Telegram. Now, I'm going to read through this stuff here. There is some good information in here. Firstly, it says a new Battlefield Labs patch has been released. The list of changes is not yet known, but the update size is about 13 gigs. So it seems like that's a pretty hefty update considering it is in, you know, pre-alpha. It's the Battlefield Labs testing. A 13 gig update clearly shows there are some big changes coming to Battlefield Labs. Something else that is also very important to note is that the watermark on the Battlefield Labs test and stuff like that has changed from Labs to Battlefield Labs Alpha. They then also followed up by saying everywhere that pre-alpha was written has now changed to alpha. And so it seems as though the game is now actually transitioning from being in pre-alpha to the actual alpha phase, which again does point towards the game probably launching this year. If it was going to be delayed until next year, the fact that it's already seemingly moving to the actual alpha phase of the game, that seems pretty unlikely. And so this is all definitely very exciting. I know the words changing from pre-alpha to alpha is not that big of a deal at the end of the day, but it shows that things are coming along. It shows that we are definitely getting closer to launch, and I think most of us really want the game to launch this year, not next year. Not only just having to wait longer, but also GTA comes out next year. That would drastically affect this game, and so the fact that it all looks like it's coming along, that is very exciting to see. Now, last but definitely not least, we've also got a new round of leaks here, or essentially data mines when it comes to Temporal. If you don't know who Temporal is, he is essentially the main data miner and leaker within the Battlefield community, and very rarely, if ever, is the guy wrong. So he is someone that you can very much trust. Now, there's been 2 separate leaks that he's tweeted literally just within the last few hours. One of these being about some Battle Royale art, and then there's also a full cinematic from the campaign as well. Granted, it's unfinished, but that is a pretty damn big leak. Now, going through the BR stuff first, I also want to mention as I always say in these videos, I'm not going to show the actual leaks in this video. I'm not having this channel taken down, guys. I'll leave links in the description. There's always people in the comments salty saying, oh, why make a video on leaks if you're not even showing it? I'm not having my channel deleted so that you guys can save 10 seconds clicking on a link. So the links are in the description to all of this stuff. You can go and check it out on Temporial's Twitter. Now, there are some images here, one of which looks really, really cool. It looks like it is people dropping into the map in the Battle Royale mode, and the map looks pretty interesting from what we can see. There is a big like ravine through the middle of the map that looks like the earth has been just torn apart. I don't know if there's like an earthquake or some shit going on, but it looks absolutely crazy. The buildings are like falling over, and it looks like a good mix. There's like a golf course, for example, but then over on the left of the image, there is a far more urban area. Now there's like some palm trees and stuff like that, so I don't know if this is going to be based in LA. There was a lot of rumors that there was an LA map. That is obviously just speculation, but either way, this main image looks very, very cool. And then there are also two more images that don't really show off anything, mostly because it's actually placeholder characters. So we see like Dozer and stuff in these images from 2042. We know those characters aren't going to be returning, so it is clearly just placeholder images. This is all concept art. This isn't official art or anything like that. It even has a PH tag in the bottom right, which literally means placeholder. So the other two images aren't really worth talking about that much. It just shows some like action going on and stuff like that, but that first image looked pretty cool. Now, the tweet from Temporial himself says 3 new artworks from the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale mode. The update description teases: after a massive explosion devastates Fort Linden and its nearby beach town, the area is evacuated under threat of toxic fallout. So that sounds pretty cool. That obviously just sounds very much like a Battle Royale description. The fact that there is like a toxic fallout, there's clearly going to be gas or some sort of poison similar to Warzone, for example. And so yeah, definitely some interesting stuff to see there from the Battle Royale side of things. It seems as though that is becoming more and more realistic. It seemed like it was just a bit of a leak or speculation early on. Now it seems like it's essentially confirmed that the Battle Royale is going to be happening. Now, again, like I mentioned, there is also a campaign cinematic that's about 90 seconds long here. Again, I'm not going to show it, but the link is down in the description. I'll just kind of run through it for you guys who are interested in hearing what it is, if you can't be bothered watching it, but you just want to hear what it is. The description says, this is work in progress footage that shows the explosive finale of a mission to destroy a dam in Tajikistan. Now, the actual cinematic is very, very underdone. It's like barely rendered textures, and the animations are very unfinished and stuff like that. So it's not worth looking too far into, just simply because it's like so unfinished. But what, like, I guess the concept of what is going on here is absolutely sick. There is a dam being blown up, and there's like rubble falling on tanks and blowing them up, and then people getting squished by the freaking rubble, while I assume us as the main character is getting driven away in the back of a tank after the mission has been complete. And then they look up and see the dam falling over and a big crane collapses and stuff. It looks crazy. It looks very much like Battlefield, and obviously it's hard to tell how good it is because it's completely unfinished, but the general concept of it looks really, really good. So again, the link to all of that stuff is down in the description. Go and check it out for yourself. Keep in mind, it is very much unfinished, so it looks very rough, but you can see the general idea they're going for. And this kind of gives us a bit of a vibe of what the campaign is going to be like, which from this clip looks like it's going to be pretty damn epic. But that is it for another episode of This Week in Battlefield, guys. Hopefully it's not too much longer until I can actually talk about official stuff. It is kind of getting a little bit tiring talking about leaks because it does suck not being able to really show any of this stuff, but I would imagine within the next month, maybe 2 months, there will hopefully be an official reveal, maybe some gameplay and stuff like that, and then we can finally get into the swing of the actual lead up to the next Battlefield game. But that is going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you all out there on the battlefield.